Hey, yo, what it do? It's your boy Rue, and welcome to Reality. Yes, this is my podcast, a branch off the Sofrito Speaks umbrella. Y'all know I can't talk, don't play me. All right, so I have my first guest here. I am very excited. We just shot his performance, which is up on Patreon now. Make sure you chip them dollars in. And I'm going to let you introduce yourself. This is going to be a little different. I want you to introduce yourself, and I want you to let us know how you're doing.
Hello, I am Liri. I'm doing very well. I'm a little nervous. I haven't performed or been in front of the camera or seen people.
Well, we didn't see that. That's not what we saw on film. Again, if you log on to Patreon, you can see it.
But yeah, it feels. If I feel really hyped, really happy because obviously they're not gonna see it, but after a couple of takes, I started feeling that feeling you get when you're on a stage and you just kind of forget and you just kind of wilding out and having fun.
That nirvana, that stage nirvana.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is here with you though? Who else is here with you?
Oh, I got my little baby boy Kuma right here. He's right here on the.
He also makes an appearance on the performance as well.
It's on Patreon, paid dollars.
On Patreon, yeah, on Patreon.
I got my little baby boy here.
I just brought my wavy baby that Miss Mishala bought over here, and we sipping it. So yeah, I've been doing good. We are launching this. This is a different project for the city of Lawrence. I wanted to start something that's going to showcase the artists out here, not just out here, but anywhere in Massachusetts, and then eventually take it over to New York and Los Angeles and just travel around doing things like this. So this is a great start. I want to thank you first for coming on and giving us a shot. Because, people sometimes are a little bit scared when they see new things. They're like, I don't know if I want to do that. Mm-hmm. But I think this is going to be a great start to the season. You're the first artist. What type of music do you do? Depends. What do you label yourself as?
I label myself as a musician. I know that's corny. I'm not a rapper. But, right. but no, because if you do something, own it. But I've been, ever since quarantine, I've been just doing a lot of different things. And I really can't just label myself as one thing. Yeah.
Because you you have your own recording studio. Mm-hmm. You produce. Mm-hmm. You write. Mm-hmm. He writes. That's rare, but he writes. And you perform. Mm-hmm. And what else?
I also act.
Peep
in a year.
Okay.
I can't really say anything, but I just got to roll.
Speaking into existence.
Yeah, I just got to roll. So just wait for a year if you remember.
They'll definitely remember.
Yeah.
Work. Can you talk a little bit about that or no?
Yeah, I mean, I could talk as much as I want. I don't really know what's I didn't sign any papers.
Okay.
But
no NDAs.
I'll still be respectful. I'm doing a project with someone, and I did the audition. I got the role, and I'm also doing the music for it. Making a complimentary EP with my crew in the studio. I just came back from a meeting with them right now.
Epic.
So that's something else.
Work
that I'm doing, but that's also something on the side. It's not
like your forte.
I just wanted to do it because I want to shoot music videos for this album that I'm almost done with for my band Glasshouse. I'm also in a band called Glasshouse.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're in a band.
All
my demons come from me.
Yeah, that song bothers me now.
Yeah, of course. It blew up.
Yeah, I actually had Little B on a version of it. It was really funny. He emails how he talks. But yeah, so I have an album with that, and something I want to do is the music videos are inspired by movies that people keep talking to me about these movies that I don't watch. Yeah. Like, you should watch The Shining. And I'm like, it's an old-ass movie. Like, whatever.
I'm not sitting there for that. The way my ADHD is set up, it's not happening.
Yeah, it's a really, spaced out movie.
Give me the real.
But it's cool. Because it's like the family would just be eating breakfast. Just some normal shot. But then, the music is just going crazy, and just why?
Oh, God.
And it's a really interesting movie, and I watched it and I got inspired. So I just keep watching these movies that are old that I think are cool, the Blair Witch Project, too.
Ooh, I love the Blair Witch Project. I watched.
I want to make them into, they're the inspiration of it.
Okay.
So I hit this. There's the inspiration for the music videos.
Work.
And I do want to act. So to get that, basically my idea was if I'm gonna act in these music videos, I shouldn't get my practice in that music video. I should do an audition. I should get into a film. I should do that. Yeah. I want to train in front of you, and I want to like do my best to become an actor. So when I do those music videos, it's like top. Oh. You know, and the same team that I am gonna use for those music videos that I've been talking to, that I've been planning with, is also the team that's doing this film. So I'm just like,
it'll be good because you'll be familiar with them already. So
I'm already gonna build that.
Acting is a little different from what I've heard. I did one play that I got booked for, and I lasted 2 sessions, 2 rehearsals, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm good. Like, this isn't for me. So it's a little different. But I want to go back and backtrack a little bit, like really, really, really get to the root. How are you? And when I ask how are you, I don't want you to just give me a surface, but like, how's your mental? How have you been since, you know, quarantine, everything that's been happening? Obviously, life has changed for us. If you're tuning in and life didn't change for you in the past year, then, you know, I don't know where you've been, but life has changed for a lot of people dramatically. So I really just want to get to the root of like, how are you right now mentally? Especially with music, I know that a lot of artists got blocked, like mental blocks, because they were just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on right now. Like, I don't even know what to write about. So yeah, how are you?
I am relieved. Currently, right now, I'm relieved because right now I'm seeing things are opening back up. I brought my nephew to Canopy Lake just to celebrate that. Like yesterday. I'm feeling relieved, but from the pandemic start to now, it's been a ride. Not just because the paranoia and also, having to stay indoors, right, and not having those activities. I'm an introvert, so me not going to events is wonderful, and that's weird to say. That's just like, oh, he goes on stage and he's crazy. That
a lot of creatives are introverts. A lot of people don't understand that.
I just don't. It's not that I don't want to be around. I just don't.
You like your peace. You value your peace.
Yeah, like he's like me.
Yeah, his head is. What's his name again?
His Kumo.
Kumo. His head is literally turned to the side. Like, I am not. I'm not here, right?
But it's not because like I'm missing people. It's more because I had something else happen. I lost my grandfather in the middle of the pandemic. It was in summer. I lost my grandfather, and it was a difficult thing because that's the first time I ever like. A lot of my grandparents and people in my family died when I was young because I was born. Like my brother was 10 by the time I was born. Okay. So I was kind of born late. So a lot of people were just
passing away.
So I was young, but in the summer my grandfather died, and that started in November. That he came to the United States and he doesn't speak English. So I would have to translate a lot of things for him. Yeah. So being that person to translate, telling you that you're gonna die, and everybody's looking at you really hopeful, is something difficult. Yeah. So imagine telling somebody they have cancer. Yeah. And they're looking at you like, what did they say? So, and then seeing him and being there with physical therapy and translating and really helping him out, then just seeing him strong, but then like when he saw that all his appointments got canceled, he just gave up. Yeah. And seeing that, right? Really, really just, it was hard. And it's like, it was also that I didn't really have anyone to turn to. Because, you have your family, but my family's very, like...
But they're also going through it as well, so it's not a
yeah, but it's more that, we got a call that he was, like, really bad, because then my uncle got him a place, one of his houses, so he would go there instead of living with us. Yeah. And we got a call that he got sick, but like he got worse. But we didn't think it was anything crazy. We didn't think he was gonna die that night. Yeah. So when we went there, seeing him gasp for air because his blood pressure was low, it was getting really low, and then seeing him there, hearing my mom say it's okay, you can let go. Like, it's something really hard. And like my mom didn't cry when he died. My mom just threw her mouth to the side. My brother just went outside and came back. No one cried. Nothing. Like his wife was crying. Yeah. Right. His roommate was, but. Even in the funeral, like, my family wasn't crying. My mom's sisters were all that. But my family wasn't crying. And when you have, like, my mom's 64, and she's handicapped, so I always have to be, like, protecting her. Yeah. So seeing that and seeing her not crying, one day I just started bawling out. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not strong enough. And it's hard for her to be my support right? When I'm supposed to be her support.
Exactly.
That was my pandemic. My pandemic wasn't really about COVID. It was more about dealing with the loss of a family member and feeling like you didn't play your role how you were supposed to play your role, right? When that wasn't on me.
Yeah.
I wanted to be her support, but she ended up supporting me.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it was
that's
that
not easy at all. Yeah, that's a completely different experience than from what I've been hearing from other people. So I commend you on that, and for staying strong. That's a lot of mental work that you need to do for that, and emotional.
I just
so that was that was felt. That was felt. Alrighty, so let's reel it in real quick. I want to now get into the conversation a little bit, and I want you to go back and tell me about how you started rapping and music, and how you realized, or when you realized, that this is what your focus is. All these entertainment like aspects that you're doing, acting, producing, all of these things. When did you realize this is what I want to do? Yeah.
Like a week ago.
A week ago. Damn.
No, I actually been making music my entire life.
Yeah.
My entire life. My brother, from like the most back memory I have, Dominican Republic with a cracked version of Fruity Loops.
Okay.
On a thick ass computer.
A lot of us have had that cracked version of Fruity Loops. A lot of us.
So seeing my brother just make music. My brother's always been my inspiration, and he was making music, Jay, and one night I asked him, because I would write or whatever. One night I asked him, like, can you teach me how to write? And he taught me how to write in like 4 bars. So he's like, just rhyme the same thing, right? Just keep rhyming it 4 times, then change the flow and change the rhyme. And I took that and ran with it. And if you see the performance, I don't even stick to one. Yeah. I just kind of keep going. Yeah. So it just evolved from that. And so it was my brother. My brother would make music a lot. And just seeing him just do whatever, I think that's why I just do a lot of things. Like, I used to work at Movement City as a teacher. Mm-hmm. Now I'm doing marketing for real estate. Why?
That's
a big jump, right?
But that's still a somewhat creative job.
Yeah. So still in that realm of, But my brother, he's the reason why I do the things I do, because he's so brave. Like, he went, I remember he used to work at telemarketing, then janitor, then at the club, then he would perform, and then he went and started a business with billboards, and then that didn't go as well. Then he started a restaurant, that didn't go as well. Now he's into real estate, that's going really well. So seeing him just try and fail and not give a fuck and just go, I was like, fuck it, dude. I was like,
I gotta say that because a lot of people are afraid to fail, and in failure is where you really learn. I'm on the same boat. I've gone through a lot of things, gone through a lot of jobs. This interview is about me now. I've gone through a lot of things, gone through a lot of jobs, but I'm not afraid to, fail anymore. I used to feel so scared to fail, and I would never quit a job, or I would hold that pride, like, I got to pay this rent and make sure that I stay living in New York or whatever. But now it's just like, I don't look at any of that as a failure. I look at it as a lesson, and look at where we are now. Look at where we are today. Yeah. I would never be in this position 3 or 4 years ago, So, yeah, that's good that you look up to your brother in those moments. Mm-hmm.
And then I have a lot of people around me that are like that, like you right now, right? That are not afraid to try a lot of things, right? Because you never know. You never know what might be good. And I remember, like, going back to music, I want to keep it in music. I have ADHD, like.
Cool. We both have ADHD.
I'm diagnosed, by the way. It's not that I have ADHD.
Well, I have ADHD.
Do not give me that. No, because every single time I say that, people are like, okay, let's not swipe that. No, it's like, you
gonna learn.
Do. Shut up. Nah, but back into music. I've always felt comfortable hiding behind an 808. I would confess things in music that I would never say in a
comfortable
conversation.
Behind an 808. Yeah. Album cover right there.
Just an 808. Nah, but so that's why I always stuck to music, because I always felt comfortable hiding behind it. And it's just fun. And then the community that comes with that too. That's why I started the studio. Actually, I got my studio, fun fact, I got my studio from I was performing a Semana Hispana. And I had a family friend, that was my brother's friend, that really liked the performance. And he just gave me money, and he was like, start a studio.
Word.
Do your thing. And
Word.
I was like, facts. I built a computer. I rented a space. I had the rent paid for like 6 months. Had everything. And then I started asking friends. I'm like, you throwing away couches? And then that's how I have that space. But what was the question? Like, why do I focus?
What made you start it?
So my brother, right? And I just kept going in it. And when I realized that this is what I wanted to do was the other day, because I do a lot, but then I noticed one day I was just around, I was driving, and then it hit me. I was like, when I wake up, I think about music. When I'm working out, I'm running, thinking about music video ideas to other people's songs or my own songs, right? I'm always thinking about verses. I'm always thinking about just music. And then I was like, okay, if that wasn't around, what would I be thinking about? What would I be doing? What would be my plan? Like, I work to pay the bill for the studio, right? And I'm acting because I want to make the music video, and everything just goes back into it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, you take that away, what am I? Because going back to my brother, no diss Jeffrey, but he stopped making music. Yeah. And I always tell him, like, why did you stop? And he's like, oh, I'm too old now.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
Like, what does it matter, right? That's why I focus on it, because that's what I focus on. Like, I just realized that that's all I do. That's all I plan. That's all I have over 2,000 notes. All of them songs. Oh, wow. All of them songs.
That's insane.
So, I'm always writing. If I'm bored, I just write a verse. And that's just how it is.
It's that focus, though. That focus to sit down and write a verse. You know what I'm saying? Like, writing is something that a lot of people don't realize. Like, you really got to work at it. You can't just write a song. You know, you gotta have 2,000 notes of verses to find that one song that you're like, I want to record this one.
Yeah.
You know?
And after you understand that music isn't about like, I want to make this song. It's more like, I want to make a song that makes me feel what I felt.
Period.
From when I heard that, right? Yep. That's actual inspiration. So, and like, if you really like something, you're not going to notice when you have 2,000 notes. You're going to be like, oh shit, I have 2,000 notes. I made an album. When I made Demons, I made an album too. Right? So the idea was Demons, video, album, right? Made Demons, kept making music after we kept making the album. And I was like, bro, these songs are way better. So then I was working on this album Plexi since 2017 to now. Yeah. And all those songs are gone. And I have brand new songs, dude. And it sounds nothing like Demons. It's good. Because going back to how COVID affected it, I didn't get writer's block. Matter of fact, I think I unlocked something else, because I would always make music thinking about the crowd, right? Okay. I would always think about how would they react, right? And it's like, you make music, you put the breathers in there, you blah 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 blah, right? But if you hear Devil's Cake, do not take a breath. That
wait, because we gotta get into Devil's Cake first. We got to get into Devil's Cake, because if you haven't heard Devil's Cake, go stream it now. It's on all platforms, right?
It's also on YouTube for free.
It's
like, whatever.
It's giving what it's supposed to been gave, period. That was the first song that I heard from you that I was like, yo, I went crazy. I was like reposting. I'm like, the way this man just went the fuck off on this. No,
that's Outside. That's the first one.
That one is a cute chart topper. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, I can see where he's going with this. He's trying to, it can be on the Billboard. I can see this mainstream. Mm-hmm. But Devil's Cake is that song that you find on the album that you're like,
it's an album cut. It's like a deep cut.
Like, how the fuck did nobody listen to this song? And the bars, the way that you were spitting, the feeling behind it. There was so many lines that I was just like, this is how I feel a lot of times.
So the song was about lack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what it is. Okay. So that's what is that what
that's
you
what I got.
So the first verse is that. So I was giving examples of people I grew up with that had to do things that they wouldn't have done if they weren't in the position they were born in. Because people think people do things. Like, nobody wants a criminal record.
Period.
Like, I've never met somebody that's like, I want to sell drugs. Like, no, you want to chill. Like, drug dealers are lazy. Like,
right.
They're just people. So it's like, I wrote a song. The first one is examples of people that are around me, right, that have a lack of opportunity. And then the second verse is I have an example of someone that I felt like gave me that lack of opportunity, that had me in the seat, but because I'm like a little weird, or maybe because I'm not like a thug or anything, maybe they didn't give me that opportunity. They gave it to somebody else that they felt like, maybe I could see him in here because, he looks like he's,
When you said you gatekeeping niggas better, I was like,
I was talking about terminology. I name dropped
oh my
him.
God.
I name dropped them.
I sat there and
nigga.
I said, oh, something. This is something right here.
But it's not like.
And it wasn't a diss.
It wasn't like.
But it was a cute little.
Yeah. It was a little jab, just because it was like. Because it was like, cause the reason why I chose him specifically, because there was 2 instances that I was with him, I performed for him, and he was like, oh, that's cute. And then the second one, I sent him Demons before it came out. I was like, look, can I get your number? I want to show this, blah, blah, blah. And Demons isn't like a song that it's just like, oh, I'm rapping. Like, no, like there's actual like Diaz on there. We do like chords with vocals. Like we tried. I got Wes in there. So I play the guitar. Like we tried to make an actual song. And I'm like, look. Effort, right?
Yeah.
And then I got ignored, right? So I'm like, okay, this is somebody I can use for that. That's like a good example of someone that could have gave me an opportunity. Could have been like, hey, look, see these new things, right? Go to these studios, meet these people, right? But then me mandó un tentallar to go see a DJ, and then that DJ told me, oh, I don't know. So he was just an example. It wasn't that like I hate the dude, because honestly, like if he hears the song, he's probably gonna be like in his slippers at his house with his kids and be like, damn, I guess. Like he's not gonna care. But that's the reason why I chose him, and that's he was just an example of somebody of lack of opportunity. And that song is a really good example of what I'm talking about in COVID. So I put those 2 songs together because those are examples of music made in COVID. So Outside, I made it literally the day after lockdown happened. So the March 13th, right? 11?
Nope.
Oh. So March 13th, right? I made that song. I was just in the studio, then I called Isha, and then Isha came over, and then we just did the verse. And that one, I made music thinking about the crowd, like I was saying earlier. Mm-hmm. Right? I made music thinking about the crowd, and that's why it sounds like that. That's why it has those spaces. That's why it's all spaced out. Then Devil's Kick, I made a little bit of it, and then I wrote the verse like the weekend before I dropped it, right? Not thinking about the crowd. Reason being is because during the pandemic for a year there was no crowd. Right. There was nobody. There was only
IG Live.
Yeah, but I don't know. I used to make music thinking about the crowd, so I was like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that so that I could breathe, and then it won't be too weird for people if I yell. But then I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm going to yell. I'm going to make the music that I want to make because I like it when artists do this, but usually artists rap like that for like a pocket. Yeah. I want to do that for a whole song. Yeah. So when COVID happened, and it's still happening, but like when I just got more used to not having a crowd, I got more used to not thinking about the other person while making the song. So those 2 songs are just a representation of like when the pandemic started, my mindset making music, and the paradigm shift after.
Perfect.
So that's why they're bundled together.
Okay. Pause. So you talked about the 2 songs being released together. What was basically your motivation for that? Like, was it just like, oh, I just need to fucking release music? Like,
everybody in my circle was like, dude, what are you doing? You have no music on. Yeah. I'm like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I feel like what am I gonna do with it?
That's a common thing that people who make music hear all the time. Like, there's always that need, but because people live in 15-minute attention spans, they're like, why don't you have something new out? And you're like, I just put a project out. Like,
being
let it
blunt
live.
With you, I regret dropping the songs just because, like, I wanted to drop when it wouldn't just be a conversation for 2 weeks and forgotten, right? People talk about it here and there, but like the songs, like I was driving over here, and then one of my friends was listening to it, and then they just drove by me. I'm like, oh, it's not. But
the universe,
but
do
like, it. But I rather, and this is gonna sound pretentious as hell, but I rather just make an experience. Like,
have you you know what it is? It's not pretentious. It's you understand the vision. I feel like people release music, like myself. We just release music just to fucking release music. I can't say it enough, but like, for instance, this past J. Cole run, he actually did interviews, and there was actually promo, and there was actually like, it wasn't a surprise drop. You know what I'm saying? Like how everyone's trying to do now. I'm gonna do a surprise drop. Not everyone can pull off a Beyonce. Let Beyonce do what Beyonce does. Y'all need to stay in your lane and promote your shit and let it live a little bit longer. So I understand what you're trying to say, make it an experience. So I fuck with that. It's gone. It's gone. And J. Cole's press run wasn't even that major.
J. Cole, but that's his thing, though.
Yeah, J. Cole's press run was not huge. It was just a couple interviews, but Like Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club actually pointed out, he's like, nobody does press runs. Like nobody.
People stop doing interviews too. Yeah.
It's like where is the conversation about your project?
I fell in love with Tyler the Creator because of his interviews.
Izzie,
right?
The door. Sorry.
I fell in love with Tyler the Creator because of his interviews. Because he'll just go on there and he wouldn't care. And I fell in love with his personality. Then I heard his music and I was like, okay, that fits.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I love that. And I feel like after a while, it just kind of got annoying because from what I've seen, they just kind of poke at you to try to get a story.
Yeah.
And I can see how that's like, oh, I don't want to get antagonized, you know.
So, speaking of making it an experience, what does that mean for the next upcoming project?
Oh, what does that constitute?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just overall the artistic vision needs to be there. So I have this album Plexi, right?
Plexi.
And I made a video a while ago, and then at the end I was like, Plexi coming soon, but not soon, whatever. And the idea of it was Glass House Plexi, and it would be music videos, it would be clothing, it would be photo shoots, it would be a change in me physically, right? It would be just when you listen to it, it brings you, like, I want people to listen to my music, right? And think back to like, oh man, remember 2021? Like, this takes me back to that. Like, I want people to get nostalgic, right?
Okay.
I don't want to start anything. I don't want to do anything besides just leaving an impact. Because when you go to Disney World, right?
You gonna remember Disney World.
You gonna remember Disney World.
Remember Disney World.
Yeah, like you don't even see the employees walking around. You don't even see like light poles or nothing. It's just the rides and it's like 4D. It's just an experience. Like you're there. You're in the world. And that's what's entertaining. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're recording the whole thing.
I need to hug him.
Go ahead. Do it.
I'm telling you to be quiet.
Guys, one of my best friends, Izzie, just walked in, and we're all just mutual friends. So it's happening. It's happening. It's a moment. Get it on film. Get this on film. So yeah, your next project. You want to make it an experience, Disney World, in the person.
So I just use Disney World as an example because they make you feel like you're a part of something, right? And everything that I love always makes me feel like I'm a part of something. So bring it back to Tyler the Creator. When you go to his concerts, you can see the meanest looking dude, right, with a striped colored shirt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it like makes.
And
it
he's
feel
just
like
not caring. I love Tyler the Creator. I recently just got into him. He's pretty good. He's really good, actually. Not pretty good. Yeah.
The essence of it is like when he was performing and I almost got punched in the face, like I was like, I don't care.
I'm in it.
Me in the face. It's crazy. His life is really fucking crazy. He performed at Afropunk, and I literally almost
You were living.
I'm like, I don't give a fuck. It's so his energy is good. I love it.
That's real performance though. Like if that's where you're going at, and
Well, we already saw it. Like, he literally threw the dog in the air. He was just like, hey,
Going back to that too,
hey.
like I wanna do, and I'm just saying this all because it's like, whatever. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, you know, if just might as well as you know, you're just gonna do it regardless. But like, I also want to do concerts that are interesting. Like, I had an idea.
Themes. Bring themes back for concerts. Bring those back. Where did that go?
No, but like that's why it's called plexing. So
Okay.
the idea with plexing is, what is plexiglass? It's fake glass,
Yeah.
indestructible, right? So the idea of the album is becoming undestructible, right? We're becoming plexi, but plexi is fake, so it's a front. You get me? So that's the idea of the album, and then top to bottom.
Yep.
So, but it's Glass House, and I want to do like the whole movie thing. Like, there's a lot to it, right? So the whole idea behind it was, how can I make something that is not just gonna be a conversation for 2 weeks? You know.
And make an impact.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, I'm gonna come out with another video, like just keep milking something. So,
Okay.
so
Okay.
It's so important because I'm not gonna. It's very
it's
important.
true.
Did you grow up here?
I did grow up here. Yeah,
Were you
yeah.
born here?
I was not born here.
You
I
were
was
born-
Santiago.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
about to say Santo Domingo.
All right. Where? So, could you tell us?
My brother's from Santiago.
Hey.
Family.
Okay.
I knew it, but what's your last name?
Liriano.
I don't know. I'll ask
Oh, you know what? You actually, my stepfather's last name is Liriano. Spells it the
really?
same way as you. So, Que lo que? So let's take it back a little bit. I want you to talk a little bit more about your influences growing up. You said Tyler, the Creator. You're really down with Tyler. Who else?
Okay, so in DR, my biggest influence was Daddy Yankee.
Rompe.
Because I remember being young and watching them in the music videos and like loving the energy on the song, like how aggressive it was, right? And people loved it and they just kept going with it and it didn't matter,
Yeah.
right? And I really liked that and I gravitated to that. Then after reggaeton, I went to live in Lawrence when I was 5. I went to live in Lawrence when I was 5, and when I got to my uncle's house where I was gonna stay at, they were watching MTV and they were watching Ludacris Get Back. Get back, you don't know me like that. I would sing that song.
Don't bring that song.
When I was...
memories behind that song.
When I was 5, I used to sing that song every day.
Your only 2 English words that you knew.
No, I knew the whole song.
Get back! Hey, how you? Get back!
I didn't even know English. I was just saying what I thought he might have said. What? What?
Word of mouth, yeah. Word of mouth.
You found it in the street?
Yes,
I was like 8 years old.
You're just like, oh shit.
Yeah, it was one of my friends. So they dropped it. One of my friends, he dropped it on the street.
He's like, I'm hood now.
Yeah, the lyrics don't feel it.
And I love the video because it was he was like this big buff dude.
Yep.
And then somebody was trying to like be like, hey, yo man, blah blah blah. And then
Get back.
But I loved it because it was so over the top. It was so extra. And my mom's music, my dad likes to listen to classical music. My mom likes more like ballads. And I liked Daddy Yankee. And I noticed that I really like things that are just over the top, jumping the shark.
You like the artistry of things. You don't just like to do it superficially. You like to dig into it and figure out what it is that's going on. How can you make it bigger? Which is something that a lot of artists do not do.
And a lot of artists always says like, yo, I'm just trying to do it different, but then like use a YouTube beat. So it's like they always
I feel like shots are being fired.
I mean, whatever. It's just general. If you got offended, whatever. But it's true. Like, I just want to do stuff that when I was little, if I would have watched it, I would have been like, wow.
Yeah.
I wish that was me. Because when I was little, I used to just imagine I was in the movie. Imagine I was in the music video. Thought that was me.
I feel like,
love that.
so when you were younger, I think I was teaching dance at Movement City and you were a student. I don't really remember you.
I didn't talk.
Yeah. And then from there, I moved to New York and then I come back and you're an instructor and they're like, oh, he used to be a student. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. He wasn't a dance student, so usually if they're not dancers, I don't really interact. You know how I do at work. And then the first time that I was like, this person is someone that I need to know was when I saw you at an open mic for Movement City. Shout out Movement City. And you performed Demons. And I stood there and I said, this person is not your typical, you know, I want to make music. This is not that. This is someone who really like at an open mic blew the room away. People in the room were singing the lyrics. The vibe was there. Yo,
I didn't have to sing it.
Yo, you were like, and you were working that room like nobody has ever worked that open mic. So I was like, yo, my breath was taken away and I was just like, I need to respect this man because he is top-notch professional. Like, you know, you went to an open mic and a lot of other people go to open mics and they're just like, I'm just gonna do this, you know. We see this once a month. We know what it's like, you know. And I'm talking shit because I ain't never gonna get up there, but I do this is the shit that I do. But you went up there and you just ate it. And then the other gentleman you were with,
Elijah.
Yeah, you guys really killed that. And that song, once I heard it that first night, one, it was catchy. 2, it made me feel a type of way about something. And 3, I was just like, this is a hit. This is deeper than a 2-week track or a 2-week conversation.
I ran that song for a year.
I mean, and it deserved it. It deserved its time because it lives, in my book, it lives as a classic from, you know, not to label you, because I hate when people are like, oh, you're just local. You're a local artist.
It doesn't matter. That's what I am.
You know what I'm saying? So when we think about local music, that is a staple. So like when I go to like my friend's house, my Georgia's house or whatever, and I pull up local artists, and they're like, yo, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? And I'm like, I play that song, and they're like, yo, who the fuck is this? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm telling you about. Yeah, and I'm always telling them, like, this is in Lawrence. Like, this is in our city, and we're here worried about, you know, Kim Kardashian and all this other shit. But look at these people that we really do have that we need to put on a platform and push, you know. So going back to that, like, when you were younger and, like, seeing your inspiration and then, like, seeing you, like, how you take your time in between your releases and you don't really, like, focus on, like, oh, you know, people are telling me I need to release something. You know, you're kind of just, like, you grew though from Demons, and then you came out with Outside, and then you came out with Devils, and I was just like, no.
They don't even sound like they would come from the same artist.
I was like, he's not sitting at home watching television. He is studying. You're working, you know, and that's the things that a lot of people don't see. They just hear the good songs. They hear oh, this is a hit. This is that. You should do a video, bro. You should do this. Oh, yo, I could shoot you. I know my boy over there. But it's like, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. And it's the meaning behind it. Devil's Cake, I swear to God, I died. I died in my car when I heard that. I said, okay. Outside, automatically, I already said it, you know, it was a hit. It sounds like a hit. You know, I can't wait to hear the album. I know that we got a lot more coming from you. You're doing the movie. You're doing the soundtrack. You're doing the Plexi album. You got this amazing tour that you're planning in your head, I'm sure. And yeah, right.
What I was planning to do for the release party, I wanted to
release party. Release party? Like, come on now.
I wanted to do. I wanted to rent something. I don't want to go into too much detail because every single time I say something, it never someone steals it. But but basically, I want to do a release party and I want to do it for free. I know you said buying tickets, right? I'll do donations probably, but I want to do
That's okay. If you do donation base,
just because I like. I don't like that idea. Like, oh, pay to see me. Like, who the fuck am I?
You don't like that idea, but now I'm gonna interject. Do you ever see yourself behind the machine?
What does that mean?
The machine pushing everything, pushing the money, doing what it needs to do, having a manager who's gonna really like get you the income and everything, sell those tickets, sell your albums. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I know you. I know that you're a type of person where you're like, you know, I don't really care about that. You know, it's not really that. But would you ever sign a contract with Atlantic Records or something like that?
That's a conversation because and I studied this. When it comes to labels, I feel like you can do, because a label, all it gives you is a budget and then you find a team, right? So if you just have
and then you got to make that money back.
And you got to make that money back, so it's just a loan,
right?
With
Right.
So it's like if you can make the money on your own to fund your own project, to do it and to show people that you could do it on your own and do the promo. I do real estate. So my job right now is to market a house, to be able to sell a $500,000 house to someone. I think I could sell a $1 song.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so I don't think, unless it gets too big that I need someone to be able to get me that connection, to get into that venue, to get my CDs in a place, to get my whatever, right? But in the age of streaming, you don't even need a leading single.
Period.
Right? So it's like, I feel like we live in an age where music, the way to consume it, there's a lot of ways to do it, and it's just untapped, right? Like, how come people don't do more visual albums? How come people don't make websites that are part of the experience, that change? How come you can update a song?
You heard her? She's like, websites. What happened to websites? We were doing websites at 12 years old, like my generation at least. Like, what happened to HTML and all that?
I actually, for what I do, I actually also make websites for people too.
Work.
So that's why I mentioned websites, is because that's like something that I'm like, yeah, like what happened to websites? Like, it's something really cool. People just go on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. But I forgot the question. I don't know where I'm at.
You done got me because I don't forgot the question.
On to the next one.
No, we were talking about like how you want to take it a little deeper, doing tours. Being behind the machine.
Okay, yeah. So, if I can just invest money into it, and show that you can just do it. And everybody's like, yeah, you could do it on your own. If you could actually do it on your own and actually pray for promo and actually do the video and actually have a layout of how you're going to drop everything and schedule everything and post everything and treat it like it's an actual fucking job instead of a hobby that you just do on the side.
I need people to listen.
Then I think you could do it, because people are like, yo, how come, like, for example, like I never drop, right? And that's not even on purpose. That's just because I'm like, it's not good enough. Right, but that song I just performed, that was one of my it's not good enough, right? And but I see it as like practice, right? I get a producer that I don't know, right? Or I sit in a room with a person I'm not really that comfortable with, and I see it as a sparring partner. Like, oh, can I make this guy's like jaw drop, right? And I just go off and I just try, right? But even if those bars don't ever end up on an actual song I drop, is that practice, right? And I want to be able to just not be bothered, and I feel like a label would be a bother. Right? I even have it all set up with my distributor, with the people I work with, right? The percentages and all that pays them automatically after we get streams. Right. So that's my whole thing. Is the machine is just being organized and treating it like a job, and like doing the groundwork for it, and then moving forward on it. Like, focus on your music, but also understand that you need a BMI, right? You need an ASCAP.
But those things you can get on your own, you know?
That's what I'm saying.
You can get those things on your own. You pay a small fee. I think BMI is free.
It's all free. And also, my studio, the name of it is ID, Import Your Dreams. And I have a bunch of artists, a bunch of individuals that I've just, what?
Not you.
No. I have a bunch of artists. I have a bunch of people that are working with me.
Yeah.
That do multiple things that... It's not a group. It's not a music collective. It's a community. And it's a community of people that just like share similar interests, and we share that advice, right? Like Michael's making a film right now, and he's not going to drop for a while just because he wants to do that run. He wants to get everything perfect. Like, you could do a film, but where's the trailers? You know?
Right. There's that part. All right, cool. I mean... You know, we dived into a little bit of your past. We dived into a little bit of the music that you've been releasing, the Plexi album, the tour, the movie. So
you're making me sound so big, bro.
You are. Listen.
Apartment.
Listen.
Honda Accord.
Ain't nobody got to know. That's where everybody starts. There's a lot of people that I know that have started on the street. So you already a bit bigger than them. So... but I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I want to thank you again for coming on. I appreciate it so much. Ruality Podcast. I want to shout out Natural Native and Jay Messiah.
Thank you.
And we got Izzie in the building. We got nothing but good vibes up in here. Kumo is not paying me any mind as he should. If you guys are tuning into the podcast, know that you can find this on YouTube. If you're looking for the performance, you are going to be able to find it on Patreon. So do you want to give any shout outs to anybody?
I want to give a shout out to Izzie. Thank you for being a present in my thank you for your presence being a present. You're great, dude. You literally you made me super hype. And I want to give a
He's coming on film.
Hug.
And
the sequel.
The sequel. On film. Live. Period.
My dog got jealous.
I'm done.
And I also want to give a shout out to everybody that did get that block. You know, give everybody that kept trying, right? I want to give a shout out to people that kept trying.
Right.
It's not about perseverance. It's about the attempt. You know, it's about just doing what you do. Yeah. So that's all I want to do.
Word.
Thank you. But thank you so much for bringing me out here. Thank you for you guys for being super nice. I've never been to a space that I felt loved this. It's really cool. But then Izzie just came in here and I was like, oh my God. It's like saying Mickey Mouse. That's it. Thank you.
Work. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. My name is Rue Zalez, and I'm blasting off.